Hello there, this is Crystal, and you're listening to the Crystal Archive podcast.
Hello everyone, this is Dwight, and you're listening to a very special presentation of the Crystal Archive podcast in which I'm presenting both parts, Part 1 and Part 2, of the Alessia Glidewell interview. Part 1 is identical to the one released at the end of episode 17, while Part 2 is totally new and is featured only here. It will not be included as part of another podcast. I hope you enjoy this special presentation of the Alessia Glidewell interview. Hello, I'm Dwight.
And I'm Alessia Glidewell.
And tell us a little bit about yourself, Alessia.
Well, I'm a voiceover actress and filmmaker, and I was the voice of Crystal in Star Fox Assault, and in Super Smash Brothers, and as well as Knuckle Joe and Zero Suit Samus. And I've been doing voiceover for about 5 years now, and I'm originally from Hawaii, but I've moved around a lot my whole life. I'm a company brat. I've lived in Mexico, Saudi Arabia, Peru, Brazil, New Jersey, Alabama, California, Florida, kind of all over. And I love playing video games, but I don't let myself play them too often because I get kind of addicted. I guess that's about it for an intro.
That's fine. So, how did you first become involved with voice acting?
Well, there was one incident actually when I was 12 years old, and I was living in Florida and doing some kind of acting and modeling and stuff like that during high school. And I just happened to get a voiceover job through my acting agent. And I went in there, and the only line I had to say was, "Hi, Dad." And it took me about not even 10 minutes in and out, and they paid me like $400, and I was so excited, and I walked out and said, "I want to do this for a living. It's the coolest thing in the whole world. I should totally do that." And then I forgot all about that and never did anything related to acting or voiceover again for a long time. And then sometime after college, I was living in Seattle and started doing acting and said, "Oh, I remember that voiceover thing. I should totally get into that." So I started taking classes and kind of spiraled from there.
In college, what was your major?
Cultural anthropology. I started out for chemistry, but then I switched over to cultural anthropology. It was a lot easier and more fun for me.
So how did you get involved for voice acting for Star Fox specifically?
It was just another audition, basically. I went over to Bad Animals and did an audition, left, and I may have gone to a callback as well, where you go back in and you basically just audition a second time, and they give you a little bit more direction. And then I got the call saying, "You got the job."
So who is Bad Animal?
Bad Animals is a audio production studio here in Seattle that does a lot of recording of commercials and games and stuff like that.
Okay, so Nintendo contracted them to find someone for the game?
Not necessarily. I think basically Nintendo may have either gone through a production company or contacted my agent as well as other agents in town directly and asked them to send people over to Bad Animals to record auditions. Oh. A lot of times you record auditions from home, but in that instance they wanted us to go over to the studio and do the auditions there. So.
Okay. So you've done a lot of voice acting for video games. How is that voice acting different from other types of acting? And specifically other types of voice acting, like for a commercial or something?
Well, commercials are usually a lot quicker because you go in there and it's a 30-second spot or a 60-second spot, and it's a lot more kind of real commercial voices, very happy and, the real girl next door and stuff like that. And you just go in there, and sometimes I'm in and out within 15 minutes, and it's pretty easy. With video games, it's a lot more intense. It's a lot harder on your voice too, because you have to do a lot of different scenarios as if you're actually in the battle or in the game, and you're running around. And so I think there's a lot more movement, and it takes a lot more time. And especially if you have a character, you have to kind of figure out what that character is first, nail that voice in, and then you get to go and do a million different scenarios with that voice. So with the video games, it's definitely just, longer, more intense, a lot more movement, a lot more active. It's fun. Yeah.
Awesome. So how do you come up with different types of voices?
Well, me personally, I just play around with my friends and watch television and cartoons and try to imitate what I can and joke around and make up voices in my car, talk to myself a lot, that kind of thing. The only bummer part of it is that since I became a professional voiceover actor, when I joke around with even friends, I get kind of almost criticized more, because they're like, oh, you're not doing that accent perfectly, and you're supposed to be a professional, so it has to sound like a proper Irish or this or that.
But
and
were
I'm
you
like,
even
just
you weren't even trying to?
No, because I always mix up things and just kind of joke around, so that's the fun of it.
What are some of the other video game characters you've done voice work for?
I did Sly Cooper 2, so I just blanked out on the name of the character.
Carmelita, I believe?
Carmelita Fox.
Yes.
Yeah, she was a fox, yeah. Carmelita Fox.
I think so.
Mm-hmm. For Sly Cooper 2, and then I'm just blanking out, but I did Left 4 Dead recently for Valve, and that's going to come out soon. That I did the voice for the main character in that, Zoe.
Okay, is that the person you couldn't talk about when I had done the text interview back? Okay.
Yeah.
That's there was a big debate about whether you're talking about Crystal at the time for Smash Brothers, or maybe it was Zero Suit Samus. And we just didn't know.
Yeah.
So it was for Valve.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and then I've done minor voice characters for the Matrix Online game, and a game for Axe deodorant called Mojo Master, where I got to play all these different girl voices.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's about it. I can't think of any more at the moment, but.
So who was your favorite character to voice?
I had a lot of fun with Crystal, and I had a lot of fun with. Actually, all of them were really, really fun to do.
Mm-hmm.
I think Crystal was fun because, I don't get to use an accent that often. I had a lot of fun with Knuckle Joe just because I usually get, I wouldn't necessarily say typecast, but because I'm a girl, I do more girl voices.
Sure.
But it was a lot of fun to do Knuckle Joe because it was so totally different from my other stuff. I really enjoyed doing Zoe for Left 4 Dead because there's a lot of screaming and a lot of fighting and stuff like that.
Forgive my ignorance. What is that game mostly about?
It looks really cool. It's kind of a co-op game where you have to help each other out when you're hurt.
So is it like a team-based shooter then?
Mm-hmm. It's kind of. There are all sorts of different monsters and witches and infected people, and I don't know enough about the game to really say.
Okay.
So, but there are 4 characters, 3 guys and a girl, and when it gets down to it, you have to help each other out to survive.
Cool.
So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
So what kind of reference material did you use when you were deciding for your voice for Crystal? Or did you have any?
I really didn't have any reference material. When I went to the audition, they just said, try a couple different things, maybe an accent. And I just threw out what I had on the top of my head and tried it.
And they told you what they liked?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool. So what was their description? What were they looking for? And did they tell you about the character when you were doing the voice?
Yeah, they did tell me. They gave me a sketch of what the character looked like, and then they had told me that, I think, they had told me at the time that she hadn't been voiced before, or that there hadn't been a girl character in the game previously. Something like that.
Kind of.
Okay.
There was never there was one girl character before, but she's a non-playable character who only appeared a couple of times, and then there were two other girl characters who appeared in a game that never came out.
Okay.
It was the most complete unreleased game in history. So,
Awesome.
yeah, I guess, yeah.
I guess it was the first time Crystal had been voiced.
Well, not
Oh, no.
exactly.
No?
No.
Oh, okay.
There was adventures.
So I guess I don't know at all.
There was Estelle Ellis did her voice in Adventures, and then of course you did her in Assault, and then Brawl. And those are the only 3 games she's been in so far, except Command, but that doesn't have voice acting. I don't know.
And the one
Maybe
in
they were
Adventure,
being
was
accurate.
that kind of an English accent as well?
It was
or?
a very English accent.
Oh, very interesting. Oh, okay. Yeah, so maybe they did tell me at the time that she was supposed to have an English accent of
Yeah.
a sort, but I hadn't actually ever practiced a real British accent before, so I think it's pretty funny because I ended up taking a dialect class recently and realized all my mistakes in the English, in my dialect and all these things. I'm like, oh, if I could just, fix that word, or I'm so much better now, and that kind of thing. But I kind of like the mixture actually that Crystal has that came out of me at the time because of me not knowing how to do it perfectly or whatever.
You added some of the knowledge for the Brawl.
Maybe a little bit. That's possibly why
it does sound
sounds
a little different.
little bit different. I don't know, because I think before my British was a little bit more of a mixture between kind of a Cockney and a upper class, and now I can separate the two a little better, so I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
That you can actually distinguish them is pretty impressive.
A bit, yeah.
So where did you do the recording? Like, I know you said you did it in Bad Animal, but when you knew you were going to work for as the voice actress for Crystal, were you like inside Nintendo's headquarters, or do they have a separate studio somewhere?
No, we did all the recording at Bad Animals.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool. So they gave you a sketch, like literally a sketch of the character?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically a drawing with her name underneath. Yeah.
Cool. Was
They
it colored
did give
and
me a
everything?
description. I don't remember if it had color. It may have just been a black and white printout from the printer, but it did have a description of who she was.
What did it say about her description?
I don't know. I wish I could remember. No.
Nothing? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was.
So
it's been a couple of years or longer now. 3 years maybe?
At least 3 years.
Yeah.
So did you get to meet any of the other voice actors while you were recording this game?
I did work with Fox, with Star Fox, and he was really cool and super professional and has been doing it for a long time. I was a little intimidated.
So were you like in the same recording room?
I did, yeah.
So you were literally talking back and forth?
Some of it. Most of it I was alone, but there were a couple of patches that we had overlap, so we recorded together. And that was even more fun because you have another actor to play off of, and
you don't have to make everything up.
Yeah. Yeah, like in Sly Cooper, I was playing a couple of different characters and we were back and forth between each other, so I was talking to myself. Mm-hmm. And that's a little harder to do than talking to another real person.
I think you were Carmelita and there was one other. Oh, okay.
Nayla, yeah.
Okay, so now on to Brawl. A few months ago, something appeared on your website saying that what you were voicing for Brawl, and then it was promptly removed a couple of days later. So what happened there?
I just basically got reminded of my NDA and had to take it off.
No, but why did you did you just forget, like when you were posting it originally?
Well, I didn't realize, because usually when you do a game, it's not a big deal, the characters.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I had never known that was a big deal.
Oh.
So I thought the NDA was more specific towards, what you did or what you said or that kind of thing, but not just that you acted in a game and did a character. I guess, it was just total
Smash
ignorance
is really,
on my part.
really, like, super secretive type thing, right?
Yeah, total ignorance on my part. I had no idea it was that secretive. I didn't really know that that it was that big a deal. I felt so bad.
Yeah.
I just didn't realize it at all.
It was a pretty big thing when it did happen.
Yeah, hopefully it was, at least, I don't know, got more interest in the game or something at least versus it being a really bad thing.
It spawned a whole bunch of talk, I'll say, because then people were like, well, we know she's in there now, but then what does that mean? Is she a non-playable character or what? And
yeah.
So.
Well, it did make me realize how popular the game was and how much interest there was. I had no idea prior to that. So. Did
a lot of people, besides me, contact you with about everything?
Yes, I got a lot of emails saying, "I promise I won't tell anyone. Just tell me."
Oh wow!
I got a lot of those. So yeah.
Cool. So how do you feel about Crystal not being a playable character?
Oh, I have to admit I was a little bummed. I mean, she's a cool character. She'd be really fun with her own moves and her own assist trophies, and I bet she'd be pretty fun to play. Play in the game as well as the voice,
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, so now that you've seen Panther in Brawl, can you tell me what's your impression of him?
Well, it did jog my memory as to what they were telling me when we were recording it.
Mm-hmm.
That he was very, very much into Crystal, and that he was, always flirting with her and saying these deep romantic things, and that she didn't necessarily take him seriously, but at the same time she was never really rude to him or completely sarcastic back. It was kind of this weird fine line that they told me about, like, you don't want to be too rude or sarcastic or negative, but you're also kind of slightly flirting back. It was kind of a weird double thing going on there.
So in Brawl, when they were giving you the descriptions, were they sort of like out of context? Did you get to see the other voice actors at the time?
When I did Brawl, I was completely alone. And I basically kind of had it all, down a list, so it was definitely out of context, but they were really good at, before I did each line, giving me a little bit of background and context right before I did the line.
Mm-hmm.
So like with the Panther stuff, they'd tell me, so Panther's this guy and he's like this, or, and the feel for each line and that kind of thing. But it's hard to do things out of context, so it was a little bit maybe not right on all the time.
So so they told you to be sort of like half sarcastic, but not at the same time. That's pretty much what we saw. It seemed sort of sarcastic, but at the same time not. So that's confirmed. All right, going on to the next thing here. Okay, so what do you think of Brawl now that you've played it?
Wow, I think it's pretty cool. The first thing I thought of two things I thought of that were really cool was, one, it reminded me of Donkey Kong, which I really enjoyed
like the
years
original
ago.
Donkey
Yeah,
Kong.
The original Donkey Kong. And then the other thing was just that it was kind of the first time I've ever seen like a real cool fighting game where you were on moving platforms and had all these really cool different things, and you can fall off the platforms, and just all the different backgrounds and all the different characters. And I like setting the time too for how long it's going to last if you do the Brawl, and all those assist trophies, and it's really unique. That was really fun.
Now that we all know that Crystal is not a playable character in Brawl, would you support Crystal for the next Smash Brothers game?
Of course, I would love that. That'd be so fun. Kind
of a loaded question, I'm sorry. When you were recording for Brawl, was it where was it this time? Was it also at Bad Animal, or was it somewhere else?
Yep, it was also at Bad Animals.
So you didn't get to hear anything behind the scenes besides the character descriptions that they gave you?
Yep, that's pretty much it. I know, yeah. And this one, they didn't actually have any video for me to look at or anything done.
Nothing
yet,
at all.
So,
they were even being secretive to the voice actors.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
They said, "Remember Crystal?"
And you
can you do it
had
again?
a tough time.
So,
has your opinion of Crystal changed since you were doing Brawl?
Well, I guess I feel like I understand the character a little bit better. A lot of time had passed before they called me up for Brawl, so I hadn't really thought about Crystal in a while, and it was really fun kind of getting to know her. For some weird reason, I feel like she's stronger, too. Something about Brawl and everything. Even though she didn't get to be a playable character, there's something really even more dynamic about her, and more like, maybe I just got to know her better. I don't know.
That's
even
cool.
though there wasn't as many lines, it still felt...
What do you think about Crystal as a character?
I think she'd be a really...
I mean, just in general, not related to Brawl.
I think she's a very interesting character because she not only has the kind of... she's strong, she's the first person that would jump into a fight, and she's, doesn't let her fear get in the way. But she's also extremely, supportive and wants everyone else to do really well, and she's always backing up Fox, and she's a real team player at the same time, even though she's, not afraid to jump in and do it. But she's also kind of sexy and has this whole, flirtatious thing going on with Fox and Panther and all that stuff, so, she's definitely not just a one-dimensional character in any way, and that's what I like,
Yeah. Do you remember that from the from Assault? Is all that description, is that from what they gave you in Assault, or the actual lines?
Yeah. Assault had a lot more I think just because of the fact that the majority of the stuff for Assault was a lot more action, in the middle of the game and action. Yeah. There's a little bit less maybe commentary, or less delving into her character as much, maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
It certainly did give more of a... It did let us get to see some of her more so than, say, in Brawl, because it's only a couple lines versus a lot of lines.
More to see how she really is, not what she thinks about things, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. It's like when you're actually in the action, what do you do? What do you like? How do you react to things? You got to see that a lot more in Assault.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We were all kind of disappointed when she was not a playable character, except at the very beginning in Adventures, even.
Oh, really?
Because the original game that it came from, Dinosaur Planet, the character Crystal was like a young cat character, but you could play as that character for half of the game, and the other half would be a fox-like character named Saber. So, yeah, it was great that we get to see more of her in that game.
Yeah.
Okay, so if there's one thing you could change about Crystal, what would it be?
Well, I hate to be repetitive because I wrote this in the writing one, but I just, I want to see more of her. I want to get to know her more. I want to, have her be in the action more, succeed and fail and fight and, kind of do a lot more things.
Well, there's a heavily rumored game coming out for the Wii, which hopefully we should see something about this summer, called Star Fox Wii, or whatever they're going to call it. I guess if they already talked to you about this, you can't even hint that you know, but yeah, if it comes out, it'll most likely involve Crystal in some way, hopefully more so than Assault. So, what do you think about the size of the Crystal fan community? There's several websites and forums related to her. What do you think about all that?
I think it's awesome. I'm just really excited to see it, but I was completely shocked when I first saw it because I had no idea. I think it's really great that there's fans for the main female character in a game, especially because a lot of these, action fighting games and piloting to have a lot more guy characters. So it's really awesome that there's a lot of people out there who like Crystal's character and, enjoy her in the games. So it's pretty cool.
So, can I get you to do a couple lines in various character voices? I've had a request for Carmelita Fox and of course Crystal, and that's my request if possible. and maybe some other ones that I don't know about, and possibly even things that are not specifically related to a character, like you did those voice samples on your website. So, like, I know you are capable of a huge range of different types of voices.
I just need to think of what to say. I'm trying to remember something maybe that Crystal said.
Do you want me to get... I can bring up a script of something to say?
Yeah,
okay,
that'd be
let
awesome.
me bring that up right now.
All right.
Let's see. Hey, Slippy, don't be... That's the only time you ever sounded mean.
It's funny because, yeah, I don't remember saying that word.
Yeah. So,
Let's see. They're quite dedicated for a bunch of hired guns. I remember that.
Yeah.
Let me see. Hey, Slippy, don't get cocky.
That's really good. Let's see. Let me pull down further in the game. Let's see.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Again.
By yourself. It's too dangerous. I'm going too. I remember that one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh.
Must have been a weak point.
Yeah.
Everything does.
It must have.
Oh, must have a weak point. Yeah.
Everything does. There's one particular line that people want to see.
There's one line that I do remember saying can't instead of can't. Or something, and I think it's actually supposed to be can't, not can't.
Well, I can't find can't.
I think it was from Assault, actually.
This is...
Oh, this is... I don't know.
Maybe it was wouldn't or something?
No, it was definitely can't was the line, and I was like, did I say that right? And I just remember hearing it going,
I can't
that's weird.
see.
And there's a line with tail or trail in it that I just
There's an
remember.
enemy on my tail?
Yes, and I remember going, God, did I say that really weird? Oh no, I'm afraid to say that line. Fox, I've got enemies on my tail. Yeah, because there was that part on my tail. It was like, it came out southern or something weird, and I just remember having a hard time with it and going, good gracious, what am I doing? It was really funny.
Let's see, where is this? This is Sargasso.
I like that name, Sargasso.
That's fun. Looking good, Fox.
Looking good, Fox.
Climate controls here. No, I really want... Soria.
Was the Aperoid Queen from this one then? Also?
Yes, the Aperoid Queen. And you were the voice actress for Aperoid Queen, weren't you?
Yeah, I remember. I was trying to remember what that voice was, and
Well, I know it was heavily
altered,
synthesized.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, do you remember it all? Like,
I think it was just a strict monotone, like robot kind of voice. You know, just like very monotone robot-y thing or something. I don't recall, but they did say they were gonna mess with it.
It turned out to be a really high-pitched.
Oh, really?
Interesting. I've got sound clips, video. Let's bring it up real quick. Let's see. It must be here.
Take this!
When was it saying something?
I don't know.
Billy? I'm not sure, but... Something's wrong, folks.
That was a hard
She's
one.
she's a psychic, you know, so
Right.
she can tell when.
Yeah.
Oh,
So yeah, it's really
Wow.
monotone.
Yeah. That's my corporate video voice, you know, I use all the time.
Corporate video?
I do tons of corporate video where I have
But-
to do
but
highly
w-
technical voices, like
Oh, highly technical voice.
words, not voices, but just like, you know, you talk about, I don't know, things, medical terms and things, and you have to spout them off really quickly, teaching
Wow.
kids, you know.
Okay, do you remember this one?
I'm not sure, but I sense cries of agony. Agony.
Agony.
Ah.
That's okay. Let's see.
I bet Tricky's grown. You did it, Fox! Wait, Fox! We have to take care of this! Oh, I'm terrible!
That's fine. That's good.
It's so funny. Sauria.
Saria.
Saria.
Well, actually,
Saria.
you did pronounce it Sauria.
Did I say Sauria?
Yeah.
Sauria should be safe for a long time to come. Fox!
and she laughed a lot.
She did.
This was that really awkward moment. Or did they tell you about that?
Awkward moment with Tricky?
Yeah, he said, I appreciate, like, you're the leader here. Okay, I'll stay here, right? You can take care of things, and you two can come back on your honeymoon. And he's like, we're not yet,
Oh, that's funny.
like, not yet. And Crystal starts laughing.
Oh, that's funny. I don't remember that one. That's...
Well, they used the same, they had you laugh, I know.
Right, so
But
they
they used
probably
the
used the
same
same
laugh multiple times.
Really? I gave him a lot of different laughs.
Really? Well, I know they,
They could be too different, too, so you never know.
it's hard to tell, I guess. So cool, that's Crystal's voice. I don't know what would be Carmelita.
Yeah,
I could look up a video real quick.
I think it was just kind of a regular voice. I can't remember.
I think it was actually a little bit British, too.
No, Nayla was a little bit British. Nayla was definitely a little
Rita.
British.
How do you spell that? Let's see.
ITA. Carmelita el Fox. No. That would have been a little different.
Do.
That's not me.
That must not be the second one. Oop. Slide
I think it's possible that
2.
that she originally had an accent because her name is Carmelita, so maybe she did have like a bit of a Spanish or Latina accent to begin with, and then with me it didn't. I could have done one if I had worked on it, if I had some time. But
Oh well.
no, I think she definitely had kind of a regular voice. Nayla definitely had a bit of a British accent.
Do you remember any of her lines?
Nayla.
Let's see. Slide
Check my website. I might have some of the
to
clips or.
script. No. All right. Where yours is?
AlesiaPlayable.com.
It's Alesia.
It's actually pronounced Alesia,
Alesia. Okay.
like a Z. Alesia Glidewell.
For this whole time, I've been pronouncing your name Alicia, and I've been wondering, well, maybe it's Alicia? No, wait, that can't be right.
That's okay. Everybody does it. And my grandfather used to call me Alesia.
Alesia, then. Alesia? Yeah. Yeah.
Yep,
Okay, so...
go up, down. Sorry, video games.
Oops. Okay, video games.
Do I have Sly Cooper? If you click on that, I might have
It's
something.
Sucker Punch Studios, who are the makers of that game. They're coming to talk at Digipen in a couple weeks. Yeah.
No, it doesn't look like there are any clips.
Just your
I guess I just did the link to
clip.
it. Oh,
Yeah, you have a clip up there for all these different voices, which is
I do?
yeah. Oh, well, you did. Wait, it's sorry. No. It was there. I know it was.
What was the clip of?
It was just you just quickly switched from a Latina voice to a British type voice to like
Oh, it might have been my
happy-
demo, yeah.
Yeah, it was a demo clip, but it doesn't
Yeah,
appear to
I
be
did the-
working.
Ortega tacos and stuff like that, yeah? That's funny.
Let's see. Well, let me real quick. I wish I had thought to get some clips. Who's Chocula? Clockula?
Clockula. Yeah, that was another kind of like the Aproid Queen, where you do something that's a little bit monotone or whatever, and yeah.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
we'll just end that there then, I guess.
Yeah, the stuff for Mojo Master was very
Oh, he's on there? Mojo Master. Yeah, it is. It
well,
is.
you can actually download the game. It's pretty funny. It's about like teaching guys who don't have experience picking up women how to pick up women in bars, and basically every single line was like putting them down. Like, you'll never get my number or whatever, like every single line was oh honey, move your eyes up here, look up here, like just it was so funny.
That's terrible.
It was all very, very what's the word I'm looking for? Flirtatious? I don't know. That's not the word, but
Awkward.
yeah, awkward.
All right. So, let's see here.
Oh.
So you also did the voices for Knuckle Joe and Zero Suit Samus.
Mm-hmm.
So how were those characters different, especially since Zero Suit Samus is a playable character?
Yeah, I think how it happened was I originally auditioned for Zero Suit Samus. I did, yes. I remember getting a description and a drawing of Metroid, and then a drawing of a girl, and then so I got both. Yeah, I got both drawings, and then
No, you got a picture of a Metroid or the suit?
the suit, and then also her without the suit.
Okay.
So I got those two drawings, and then I got a little description. I sent in an audition from home, and then heard about a week later that I got Zero Suit Samus, and then they said, oh, by the way, not oh, by the way, but it was more like, we'd also like you to do some things from Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay, that's awesome, great, I get to do Crystal again. And then after we finished recording Zero Suit Samus and Crystal was when they asked me, oh, do you think you want to try something else? We have this other character we haven't done yet, or we haven't recorded anything for.
Probably never had a voice before.
Right, his name is Knuckle Joe, he was with, on the Kirby game or something, and they said, you want to just throw something out there and give it a shot? And I was like, sure, because I was like, yay, it's not a girl voice!
So what did you do?
So,
Is it like punch noises or?
Yeah, it was just more like, like running around and jumping and, just like kind of screechy little like, hiya, I'm gonna get ya! Kind of like very whatever.
That sounds a lot like when I listened to it.
Yeah, I think that's probably just what they used. I mean, because we didn't do very much. It didn't take long at all. They just said, can you do something kind of high-pitched or screechy maybe? Or I was like, sure, I'll give it a shot.
It
was fun.
What was the description they gave for Zero Suit, well, for Samus in general? Do you remember?
Well, I remember seeing the drawing of the girl and them telling me about the fact that, people hadn't seen her without the suit before or something like that. It was kind of a new thing. And just that, I wish I could remember a lot more description about her actual character other than that it was a kind of a fighter but a female at the same time.
Yeah.
Which makes me think about the fact that every single game I audition for voice-wise that is a girl that's in a fighting scenario, there's this fine line between, especially if you're yelling and you're in combat, there's a fine line between coming across as a total witch or and sounding kind of annoying versus sounding like a girl that's just in combat. And they're always trying to... Everyone I've ever worked with has tried to help me tweak that so that I don't come across that way. Because they do say that they get a lot of auditions and that it's really hard because, when girls are yelling and screaming at you in a fight, it kind of sounds annoying or something. I don't know. Yeah.
I guess it can.
I don't know. So it made me think about her because not that she yells a whole lot, but just that, you don't want to sound like you're overly sweet and feminine. You're not a princess in the middle of a fight. Well, they do have a princess, but
Wait, what do you mean?
Don't they have a princess character?
Oh yeah, they do. They have two of them, Peach and Zelda. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you can't quite sound like a prissy princess while you're fighting, but you also can't sound like a big, huge witch, evil, meanie, annoying person on the field. I don't know.
Fine line.
Yeah, fine line.
Due to a small software oversight on my part, the recording software stopped recording at this point, unannounced. We were only halfway through the interview at the time. I apologized both to Alesia and to the audience. Alesia graciously agreed to resume the interview at a later date, and that is what will be presented in just a moment. Part 2. So hello again, everybody. This is Dwight House, and we're recording with Alesia Glidewell. And I wanted to apologize before we get started for messing up the podcast last time, the previous interview. So we're going to get started and continue where we left off.
And I'll try to remember what I said last time.
That's great, thanks. So, first question since last time. Before we get into the questions from others, I would like to ask you about your experience with Portal and what you did for that game.
Portal was really easy and really fun. I just basically auditioned for something that would pretty much primarily be modeling. And then I showed up one day and they took a bunch of different photos of my face in various scrunched up and stretched out in all sorts of different positions that I had to hold for a long time. And they took photos from every possible angle, variety of expressions. And then they did some measurements with my knees and things like that and made me wear an orange jumpsuit and just kind of do some poses and some little basic movements. And
They have you said, I believe you said last time they had you running around the campus in the orange jumpsuit.
oh yeah, I was definitely walking around a campus where everyone's in their business suits and I'm just walking around barefoot with this orange jumpsuit with like black ties at the knees and elbows and stuff, so it looked a little bit strange. They thought they were, maybe the people there thought like they were leading around a prison mate or something. I have no idea, but it was strange.
That's cool. Yeah, that's what the final character was wearing. So,
Which I didn't
That's
know
been
at the
crazy.
time.
They just told you to wear this orange jumpsuit.
Yeah, I
Didn't
kind
tell
of
you
figured
why?
it was kind of like when I do motion capture, I have to wear kind of this real tight jumpsuit with ping pong balls on it, and I thought it was just kind of a similar thing that I had to wear a jumpsuit for the photos, or maybe the color was important. I don't know. I didn't
see.
ask at the time, but yeah.
That's pretty crazy. All right, so we're going to get into questions from everybody else. So first off, is there one line of dialogue when you were playing as Crystal's voice that you would redo, and how so, if any?
There's definitely one line, and I it's not coming to me right now, but I did remember it last time. It was the one where
Something
she kind of
about
had this weird
A
southern...
tail?
Yes, it had tail at the end, because I remember having a hard time with the line at the time that I recorded it, and thinking, why is my accent going into kind of a southern thing, and I couldn't get rid of it. And now when I hear it, I still think the same thing. I'm like, it's just a little off, and I still don't know why.
I believe it was Fox, get this guy off my tail.
Yeah, off my tail. I don't know how I said it. I don't know if it's supposed to have been like, Fox, get this guy off my tail. Like a quicker tail. And for some reason I kept wanting to drag out tail. So I kept going tail or tail, and going, that does not sound right. So yeah, I think that line is still a little weird when I hear that. But
All right, do you have any particularly favorite lines of yours?
No, but I would say, like, for example, doing Knuckle Joe for Smash Brothers was it's kind of a little bit my favorite because it's so different from everything else I get to do. I mean, it's fun to just kind of do like really quirky noises that you didn't practice or think of before, versus like the more normal female characters with actual speaking parts. It's a little different.
So you like to do things that are just completely different from what you're used to.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun doing it at all, and I'm really excited every time I get a job, but yeah, it's always fun, a lot more fun to just do something that's not what you usually do, so.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, if you had another opportunity to voice Crystal, would you? And how much you change her voice for that game?
Well, I would probably I would try to get the copy ahead of time so that I could actually figure out the scenarios and maybe act it out at home and kind of really get into character more.
You mean the script?
The script, yeah. I would really figure out the context of everything a little bit more, and I'd probably check myself for little bits of dialogue, and I'd make it a point to figure out whether Crystal, like what part of England she was from, and make sure that the accent was more clear as to whether or not she was Cockney or whether or not she was upper class, things like that. I'd probably try to be more specific.
Okay, I know you said you hardly ever played Assault. Have you played any other Star Fox games?
Nope. I haven't. I'd love to. I just
Just a
never have.
Smash
Yeah.
Brothers so far.
Yeah, because I have the Wii, but I don't have a GameCube or anything else either. And I have a tendency to the types of games that I actually buy when I go to the store have very realistic covers and are very zombie, blood and guts kind of things, not with cute characters in outer space.
Sure.
So, yeah.
I believe that we will be addressing that in a later question that's
Okay.
coming
All
up. So the next question is, what would your ideal role be as a game character, as a voice for a game character, and also if you could be a game character, who would you be?
Well, I think as a game character I would do something, that hopefully I do really well. I don't know what that is yet, but I would do a character that was either schizophrenic or had some sort of multiple personality thing. You know, like an evil side and a good side, or something, some duality to it, some kind of character that I could do where there's some sort of similar thread between the two, but they're so different, and yet you can feel the similarities and the differences in different scenarios, like doing the same scenario with the both sides of that character. If ideal role as a game character. Yeah, I don't know. I think I would. I talked about last time, if I can recall, doing kind of a ninja character with. I like the idea of having guns in both hands instead of just one, so you're controlling both things. But doing like a lot of up close fighting. So I don't know. Game character wise, that way, not voice, but
Get a gun blade or something like that.
yeah, guns with blades or something. I don't know, kind of a ninja character that can do a lot of up close fight. Because the games I like to, or in the games I like to play, I'm always either the dwarf, and this is my duality thing. Maybe I'm kind of schizophrenic myself. It's the duality. So I like to play like the dwarf or warrior guy that goes up there and hits really hard with the hammer and does all the the fighting on the front lines. But I also kind of like to do some sort of magic or something where you're like firing fireballs from afar and conjuring stuff. So I like both. I'm terrible with arrows, don't want to do that. But guns, for some reason, I can handle. I mean, in the games, you know, I don't know. So, definitely characters with duality.
As far as the duality is, I mean, in terms of voice acting, is that so you can show like different types of voices within the same character?
I think that'd be fun to do, yeah. Because a lot of times you end up kind of... Well, I like getting to know a character and playing the same role, but it would be fun to do both, yeah. Okay, fine, it's just to show off. That's fine. No, I'm just kidding. I said, no, it would be just to show off that I could do two different characters. No, just kidding.
I was just wondering. I thought that might be the reason why. But...
No,
okay.
It would just
it's the
be
duality.
fun, yeah. Definitely, like, it'd be cool to do one that were, like, really creepy and like, screamy and... Not screamy, necessarily, but, like, creepy that kind of goes between, like...
Twilight Zone creepy?
Well, across, like real psychotic, like crying / like going between fits of anger and tears kind of thing on one side, like the really creepy side, and then on the nice side just being something really goofy, you know, like total Valley Girl or something, you know, just the opposite. I don't know, something like that would be fun.
Oh, wow.
But
okay. Good answer.
I'm gonna make you think I'm crazy. Just kidding.
No crazier than I. All right. So what sort of games do you play, and what are your favorites?
I really, really like the shooting games, like Resident Evil, and I used to play Time Crisis a lot and House of Dead. And then I also really enjoy the role-playing games that are medieval, where you, like Heroes and Baldur's Gate and Gauntlet Legacy, stuff like that. I'm really into co-op, because I try not to spend too much time alone playing video games. I'd rather have my friends with me. That's why I don't have online, like Xbox Online or any of that stuff, because I would much rather try to get a game that's co-op that I can hang out with my friends, eat Chinese food, and play the game at home all day and do a binge, you know. But I love like upgrading weapons and armor, and you know, stealing gold and blowing up barrels and stuff like that. That's kind of my favorite.
So, do you play this popular game I hear about these days, the World of Warcraft?
Nope, I'm afraid to get into it because I think that once I start, I may never stop. Like, actually, I was thinking about some old games I used to play when I was younger, and Full Throttle was the name of the game, and it was kind of along those lines of role-playing, but with this, like, Harley Davidson dude that goes and beats people up in bars and runs across minefields, and I just remember it being, like, the most fun, exciting game, and I think that's kind of that. I played that at the same time as like King's Quest, and those two really got me like into games in the beginning. So, and Bouncing Babies. Did you ever play that?
I don't think I have. I don't even think I've ever heard of it.
It's a really silly game, but it used to like get me hooked for hours. It would just be you're a fireman with this like what do you call it? Trampoline, and the babies are being like thrown out of this burning building, and you have to bounce them into the truck, and it goes faster and faster.
That sounds very much like one of the old Game & Watch games.
Yeah.
Back before they had video games.
It might have been. I don't know. It was an old computer, like before computers were really standard.
So you've been playing
games
one in every home
for
a very long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I had the old Power Pad too.
Oh, the NES?
Yep. Mm-hmm. I played there was like a BMX thing that you could play, and then, yeah, I remember doing like a snowboarding one, and definitely bicycles and stuff. It was really fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite video game character, both in and out of the Star Fox series?
I'm a big fan of Alice from Resident Evil. I like her character a lot. I've kind of been with her for a long time since I, remember playing it back on the old PlayStation 1, I guess, yeah, and then playing it again on the Wii and playing it again on Xbox, and just them watching all the movies. It's kind of like a character that I've known for a long time. So, and actually my favorite line in any like video game or movie is the little girl from Resident Evil that says...
Are you talking about the computer, the Red Queen? Or
yeah, she goes, "You're all going to die." That one, that little girl, I love that. There's something about, that's like my favorite quote.
It's so creepy.
Yeah, it is. It's like really creepy. It's a little girl. Anyway, so yeah, Alice I think is just my favorite because, and then throughout the movies she's just gotten more like badass every time and just, getting cooler and better and whatever. And from Star Fox, it's hard to actually pick one since I haven't really gotten into the game myself and played it a lot. In general, I usually like the comic relief character and the hero character. Mm-hmm. And then after listening to all the voices from the original 64 version of Star Fox, I like all the original voices because I love that kind of... the voices from the JFK era and everything, I really like that. Like the General Pepper voice is cool. It's really neat. Mm-hmm. And but yeah, I'd probably like if I played the game myself, really get into the hero or Slippy, the comic, because I love that. That's kind of fun stuff.
So the heroic and the comic relief character.
Yeah.
Slippy and Fox. Then?
Slippy and Fox. Then,
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, have you played any Final Fantasy games at all?
No. I remember taking one out at my cousin's place in Hawaii because he had it and looking at the box and going, oh, I want to get into this. And like I just finished playing Grand Theft Auto and like playing it for a long time. And then I said no and I went to the beach. I think that's, yeah, and I didn't have a chance after that, so.
So, I guess you've never heard of Moogles then?
No.
Okay. All right, do you have, what is your vision? Do you envision video games going in the future?
I'm really excited about holodecks, and I can't wait till till somebody gets that invented, so that I can go practice, fighting like with Klingons and stuff. That just like really excites me, like being able to actually play in a 3D world. There are video games out there now, like a boxing game where you actually have to duck because it can tell from your shadow if you're in front of it, things like that. And then the Wii. I mean, the Wii is just so much fun. It's so much cooler to play with than the old controllers. So I think everything's just going to be more interactive. Hopefully maybe kind of just more 3D, more interactive, more in the middle of it. So it may end up being a lot more physical in the future. I don't know. Or you just do it Matrix style, plug in your brain, and then you don't have to really do anything.
That'd probably be easier.
Yeah, so it may go both ways, in the future. It may end up being, like, completely catatonic and just use your brain. I mean, actually, that doesn't make sense, catatonic. But anyways, yeah.
Yeah.
Either really physical or just strictly with your mind.
Otherwise, no, just full immersion, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think so. And maybe even, films. Maybe movies are going to have, like, game aspects to them or choose your own adventure aspects, So, who knows?
Not be so passive.
Yep, exactly.
What is your favorite type of music?
I like reggae a lot, and I really like Latin American music and kind of R&B, jazzy things I can sing to in my car. So yeah, there's a Brazilian reggae band called Nautilus that I really like. They're so good. And then there's like this African singer. She has a real thick French accent named Ayo, and her songs are just beautiful. They're kind of like love songs, and I don't know. I kind of like that stuff too. So I don't know, but yeah.
Cool. The question I almost didn't ask because I was afraid of the question I almost didn't ask because I thought it was inappropriate, but I'll put it to you anyway, and you can choose whether or not to answer it. What question are you glad that we didn't ask?
I'm glad you didn't ask. But maybe I shouldn't say. So one of the things is, if I tell you the question that I'm glad you didn't ask, are you going to ask it?
Oh, no.
No? Okay.
I guess all right, I won't ask the question.
All right. Okay. So I'm glad you didn't ask any, like, what did you think of so-and-so's, like, negative like if I've gotten any bad bad critiques or whatever of things I've done, like Sly Cooper, for example. I'm glad you didn't bring it up, read it to me, and then make me comment on it, because that would suck. That wouldn't be very pleasant. And I mean, it's not that it's something that I'm, as I get older and as I get more professional with voiceover, I can handle negative feedback or criticism a lot better than at the beginning, where I used to kind of take everything to heart. But at the same time, it's still not fun to hear, really,
Sure.
And if it's already over and recorded and there's nothing you can do about it, then it doesn't feel like it helps so much. So,
Thank you for answering that question.
Thanks for not asking it.
All right. Do you feel a kind of connection with any of the characters you portray?
I definitely feel a connection with different characters in different ways. It all depends on the bio, and what that character is all about. If this character is a warrior, then I connect to it through my dreams. Because I've had dreams of being a warrior since I was a little kid. It's just a weird recurring thing. Awesome. Anyways, sorry for the tangent. So I, if the description involves like, this character has felt like she never really belonged, or she, is the one girl in a group of guys and they do all these adventures together, then that I can really relate to, Or I can relate to relationship stuff. I can relate to, the dancing scenes and the flirtatious stuff. I can relate to the wanting. I can relate to being scared. I mean, it's kind of relating to the emotions a lot, and then certain aspects of the character that hit you or don't.
So it's never 100%. This character is exactly like me.
No, I've yet to play a character that's exactly like me, but
In the future, maybe.
in the future.
Okay. Do you have any tips for aspiring voice actors and actresses? Because I know there are several people who are interested to get started on that sort of career path.
Yeah. I've gotten a lot of questions about it myself, and I always write back with education. I mean, just start taking classes everywhere you can. There are tons of really talented, really experienced voiceover professionals out there who are teaching classes and giving workshops and things like that. And if you don't have one in your area, just look online and see what you can find, and buy the demos, or not just demos, but they have like these online kind of like podcasts and things that you can buy of voiceover people giving you advice.
Mm-hmm.
So education's a big thing. Don't start smoking.
What?
Don't take up smoking so that you can keep your voice like pretty versatile and fresh, and play around with your voices a lot. Practice. I mean, the main steps in actually getting started in the industry are pretty clear cut. It's like you start by taking classes, then you decide to make a demo for yourself, and you go find someone who's used to making demos, and you record a bunch of spec pieces, and specs are basically made up commercials or made up characters, and then you record them, someone edits them together for you with some music, and you just send that demo, you put it on a CD or online as an MP3, and you send it to everybody and their mother, like, the advertising agencies or production companies, and you say, I will work for very low money, I'm just starting, blah, 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 whatever, and just send it to everybody and bug them, call them. And then finally, maybe one of them will call you back and say, hey, you want to do something for free for my voicemail? And you're like, okay,
Wow.
I'll do it.
Voicemail.
And you spend about a year doing that. And, you've already spent about $3,000 on classes and making those demos and really getting it out there. But it's worth it. Like, to me, it was something that took a lot of dedication to keep going even after I wasn't getting anywhere, and to really just keep trying. It's all about getting a sample, some sort of demo out there to people to actually get work. And then once you get there, you can maybe get an agent and get, onto the in one of the unions, stuff like that.
And then the agents will get you jobs from there, pretty much.
Well, the agents will get you auditions,
Ah,
but maybe not jobs. So
that's your deal, isn't it?
yeah, and there are also websites where you can kind of like sign up and get newsletters about voiceover, or put your demo online, like Voice123 or Voices.com are really good sites, and you can check that out. And then there's also voicebank.net, I think, where all the agencies in the US, I think even abroad actually, have all the people in their agency have voiceover demos, so you can listen to what's out there, and pick your specialty and go for it. It's awesome if you're good at imitating other people and other voices that are already out there on TV, but they probably don't need it because it's already out there. So if you're doing character stuff, come up with your own characters,
Okay.
and find a way to pull yourself into that accent immediately with like a favorite quote or line or something, which, it's all great advice. It's not necessarily stuff I do for myself because I'm lazy. No, not that I'm really lazy. It's just that I make the effort to practice in a more casual way, and to actually sit down and make myself do it the right way and really like flesh out characters and do that stuff. It'll take a while before I get to that point, but so that's it. It's easy.
That's good advice. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so I've put together a list of quotes this time, so it'll hopefully be easier, because last time we had a time getting some quotes together for you to do voice samples. So we're gonna go through those. All right.
All right, let's give it a shot.
Please note that the voice samples you're about to hear are not intended to be an accurate representation of the
Dialects, and
dialects,
accents.
accents, languages, or exact character representations of the quotes that you will be hearing.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. First off, we're going to do clips from Nayla and Carmelita Fox from the Sly Cooper 2 video game.
Awesome. That's wicked awesome.
Which one's that?
That's nobody. It's just my New York girl.
Ah,
you know?
New York. Okay. Got it. All right. Whenever you're ready.
All right. Let's see if I can... So Nayla's the accent. Hold it, Cooper. Please, I led you here. I'm not as black and white as Carmelita. I know what a menacer's clockwork parts are, and I don't want the likes of the Claw Gang putting them to use. Something like that, but I'm going to trust you. If I'm going to trust you in this case, I need to know that you can keep up, literally. Don't fall behind. Thank you, that was delightful. Nayla, your friend here is quite an accomplished dancer. I tried to make him look good. Please, Nayla, his skills far surpass you. Miss Fox, Carmelita Fox, and I accept. Tell me, stranger, what's your name? Huh? I don't understand. What? Who, what? Cooper? What's the problem, Poodle? What's the problem, Poodle? Afraid that you can't take me on? Have to call up your little friends for help? Look, Sly. Okay, for once, let's just cut the flirty chit-chat and get down to business. I need an experienced tail gunner. Jump in and grab the gun. We've got a bird to take down.
Now we have some clips for Crystal from Assault and Brawl.
All right. A stealth squadron. Look out, Fox! Somehow we beat it. By yourself. It's too dangerous. I'm going too. This isn't looking good. I'm in real trouble. No way! I can shake them! Unbelievable! Fox! I'm sensing a distress call from Planet Sauria. I'm not sure, but I sense cries of agony. Mission together at last. Why are you laughing?
Some of them are like
Sounds
you're doing
pretty
them all
different.
like they're in a battle situation, but not all of them are.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to know which ones are in which situations.
Let's
It's
see.
like...
So this Mission Together's last is Flirtatious. This one is Righteous Fury. So, like, if you want to do those.
The poor, beautiful Saria is a righteous fury.
She says, "Poor, beautiful Saria. They won't get away with this."
It's like
kind of
really
thing.
angry, yeah, okay.
So, like, I can tell you what
Okay.
each one is if you want.
Yep, I'll do those two.
Okay.
Mission together at last. Poor, beautiful Saria. They won't get away with this!
I think you blew out my mic.
Oh, sorry.
That's fine. Hey, stop joking around is serious. Just being serious.
Hey, stop joking around.
Nostalgic. I mean, that doesn't help, does it?
No.
That's right. Like she's remembering something. Just like fond memory kind of thing.
Okay. That's right. This place recalls many memories for us.
I must have written that down wrong. It should be holes.
Holds many memories for us.
Oh well. Relief.
Looks like almost all the aperoids have been wiped out.
Flirtatious, laughing at a joke kind of thing.
All right, that's enough, boys.
And is confused.
It's lovely. I wasn't expecting that.
And you remember the ones from Brawl? Those are pretty recent.
Yep.
What are you two thinking?
What are you two thinking? Just kidding.
Okay.
All right. What are you two thinking? I'm the only one who can come through in a fight like this. Oh my, this looks like it's going to be rather nasty. Oh, I feel so much better hearing that. You're such a gentleman, Panther. That was the confused. I don't know if I'm supposed to be sarcastic or...
Sort of sarcastic,
Yeah.
sort of not.
Exactly. Oh, Panther. Oh, Panther.
Southern accent.
I don't know.
All
My
Panther.
$200. Panther, I want my $200.
$200.
Yeah, it was from some movie or something where he's like, my $200.
$200. Mm-hmm. It's over 9,000.
You're such a gentleman, Panther.
Okay, her catchphrase would probably be something from Adventures, and I'm thinking it'd be the one where she says, okay, let's do this one. All right. You're going to laugh because I don't think you've seen this one, but it's another Flirtatious one right at the end of the first game.
Okay.
Where, not that, is basically where she's forcibly joining the team.
All right.
And she says, thank you, you know.
I received this message from Crystal.
Hi, Fox. I really appreciate what you did for me. I'm just so sorry we didn't get much of a chance to talk. I'm left with just one.
This one's definitely English, this girl.
She's actually from France, turns
Really?
out.
And that's to say thank you.
And they got the crazy jazz music, right?
Nice.
One of these days, you're going to have to watch all these. That's
So is this from the, this is from which one?
Adventures.
Which was before Assault?
When the first... What?
Yeah, look at her,
Yeah, she's
her
got this
kind of
crazy
tattoo-looking
tattoos.
thing. Yeah.
She's got tattoos here, here, and then she has this.
Crystal's pretty risque, man.
Yes.
I had no idea.
She has this on her thigh.
Wow.
Very nice. Yeah, she's kind of like from a tribal culture, we figure. So.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And also she has armor that doesn't appear to be attached to anything.
Right, it just sits there.
It just sits there,
It's
glued.
super glued. Nice.
That's what I think. So, if you could do like a couple of the things from here, like "Hi, Fox," I really agree, but in some crazy accent.
Some weird accent.
Here's a very special representation of Crystal, right?
Right.
Hi, Fox. I truly appreciate what you did for me. I'm just sorry we didn't get a chance to talk. And that's to say thank you. I'm just left with just one more thing to do. It's just that I just want to say thank you.
Okay, awesome.
Oh, God.
Yep.
That's
very
pretty funny.
special representation.
Yeah. I feel like I'm not making fun of the other actress, I swear to God. I'm just doing the
I'll put
thingy.
another disclaimer on
Alright,
there.
cool. Lots of disclaimers for me, like, messing around with the voices.
That's fine. And then, before we stop, I'd like to give you an opportunity to show off some of your other voices. And so I've put out a list of different types of voices that you've listed being able to do, and just pick a few.
Oh, I was thinking about, okay, I want to try something
All right.
for Crystal, and you can delete this if it totally sucks, right? But, you know how we were talking last time, and I was like, I wonder what a little, like, the young Crystal would sound like?
Oh.
So I'm just going to try it, because I was
Sure.
thinking if I just make my
I
voice
remember that
higher,
now.
yeah.
I was going to write that down, but I forgot.
So I was thinking if I just make my voice a little higher, it might sound a little bit. So
Okay.
I'm gonna just read that and try it.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Stealth Squadron, look out, Fox! Somehow we beat it. By yourself. It's too dangerous. I'm going too. This isn't looking good. I'm in real trouble. No way! I can shake them. Unbelievable.
Can't.
I can't shake them.
I can check it.
No way! I can't shake them. Unbelievable. Fox, I'm sensing a distress call from planet Sauria. I'm not sure, but I sense cries of agony.
So I don't know if it sounds a little bit younger or not, but I was thinking like if I just did a little higher, it might possibly sound younger, but
Pretty close.
pretty close.
Yeah, that's nice.
Okay. So let's see.
Say.
Oh,
Yes.
right.
These are the ones you did for me, and then these are the ones from your website. And you don't have to do all of them. Just pick
Oh,
ones.
that's from the Voices 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, I could do a French accent for a little while. It is if I'm not sure if it's a very accurate French accent, but I like to do things with it sometimes, as if it's I don't know. But I used to love Pepe Le Pew when I was a little girl. She was very he was very interesting and exciting. He was very lovely and very much in love with everybody. Yeah. My little French thing there.
Very nice. Very, very nice.
Yeah, you like it?
Oh yes,
Cool.
sounds like as good as any French accent I've ever heard.
Cool.
If it's wrong, then I have no way of telling.
Nice. So I think I could do a Cockney accent if I try for a bit, be a bit more in your face kind of thing, but I'm not sure if it's, quite correct either, but, I like doing the Cockney because it's fun, you want a cup of tea, things like that, yeah? Mm-hmm. Let's see. I did a commercial for, I got to do like one line where I sounded like an Italian person for Bolla Wines. So I was like, Bolla Wines from Italy is very Italian, no? But no, I didn't say that. I just spoke as if I was from Italy, and it was the accent that I needed to prepare or try to do as if I was a person from Italy speaking English, yeah?
You're good.
And one of my favorite things when I was a kid was like on SNL they had Arnold Schwarzenegger and the other dude, and he was like, "Viva tu pump, you up." Remember that?
I remember
I
that
don't
one.
know if I could ever do a German, but I would love to try that sometime. But I also remember from A Fish Called Wanda when Carrie Fisher goes, "I'm Inga from Sweden." She does this whole Swedish thing. It's like really cute, but I'd have to practice that. But let me think. I can do a little bit of a Mexican accent, you know what I'm saying, man? But that hurts my voice a little bit, so I don't want to do that too much.
I understand.
What I really would love to do, future-wise, is like the medieval stuff. Like I'd love to practice, like they have these like wenches and medieval, like whatever.
Is it more of a kind of harsh British accent but with older English words?
Yeah. I can't even think of one. Like maybe if I could play one, I could do it. But I could like totally do a Valley Girl. Like that's like the easiest thing in the whole world. Oh my god, I don't know why. It's not like I grew up in the Valley or anything. Like oh my god, gagged me with a Gucci purse. I totally didn't, but like I could. Yeah. Yeah. That's what. Oh, the stoner boy. Like, dude, this is like totally awesome, man. I totally I had this thing, and it was like, it turned colors and stuff, man. It was like, you gotta check it out, dude. Like, totally.
That's
yeah, cool.
Can you do, were you already doing the teenage boy, or did you?
I don't know if I did. I'm trying to think if I could.
Or child? Is child just like a small, like a baby voice type of thing?
Yeah, I guess so. I haven't done any kid stuff in a long time, but like.
And if I was a little girl and I was speaking like this all the time, I said, "Mommy, will you please get me? I like popsicles because popsicles are really yummy and they taste good. Can you get me a popsicle?"
Sure.
Okay, yeah.
I guess kind of that'd be like a little girl or
That's cool.
something.
Pretty much, yeah, the little girl.
Yeah. So,
Well, cool. Alright, I think that just about covers it. You even did a special representation. 2 special representations of Crystal. That's very much. That's a lot. So
Cool.
thank you. Alright, so that covers everything except the very last one. So
What's next thing?
what's next? So before we go, I'd like to ask you, what's next for you in your career and life and everything?
Oh my goodness, it's coming up quick, but next Thursday I'm moving to Los Angeles. So I'm scared to death. I don't have a voiceover agent, anything like that yet. Hopefully I can find one that really likes video games. So they've actually maybe, would take me on. But that's it. I am getting in my car, driving down to California, and gonna try to start over and make the move. And my parents are gonna move to Qatar. So, they'll be across the world and I'll be at least in the sunshine, trying to get work there. I'm going to try to do the same stuff I do here, the freelance stuff, as well as voiceover. My goal is to, actually get on one of those shows, like Family Guy or Adult Swim, or, that would be my dream come true. So,
Have a continuing series.
yeah,
where you
God, I
provide
would
the
love
voice.
that. Yeah, it'd be cool. It'd be, oh, man. And to work with those guys, because they're, so unbelievably talented. And just do the really goofy, funny stuff. I mean, it'd be hard not to laugh, probably. But that's my goal. I want to be a cartoon character and live in the sunshine and take up surfing. So
Cool.
that's my goal. That's what's happening next.
Well, so Los Angeles is on the coast.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just not familiar. I thought Los Angeles... Maybe I'm thinking of Chicago. It's in the middle of nowhere, right?
Yeah. No, Los Angeles is definitely on the coast, and it's definitely a warm weather place. So
Okay.
I am ready. I'm ready for some sunshine, unlike snow and hail here in Seattle in winter.
All on the same
in
day.
April, yeah. Snow in April.
That was
Oh my
crazy.
gosh.
Snow, sleet, hail, all in one day.
Yeah.
Um,
And hopefully I'll make a feature. Hopefully I'll actually be able to finish writing a feature science fiction screenplay and make my movie. Make it happen, so that's it. Be a cartoon character and make a movie.
is
I
your
could do both of those.
movie is going to be another of your sci-fi series?
Yes, absolutely. But I don't know if I'm going to go very serious action sci-fi or if I'm going to go total goofy comedy, Earth Girls Are Easy kind of sci-fi. Do you remember that?
Earth Girls Are Easy?
Oh my god, I love that movie. It has Damon Wayans and Jim Carrey and Gina Davis and Julie Brown, Downtown Julie Brown.
She did voice acting.
Yes, and she sings a song in it called "'Cause I'm a Blonde, Yeah, Yeah, Yeah." It's a really funny movie. Anyway, oh, and Jeff Goldblum. It's and Jim Carrey. I mean, they're awesome. They're it's just really funny.
I'm just not familiar with the movie. Sorry.
You're gonna have to see it.
So, with that, thank you very much for participating, and sorry for the problem of not recording half of our interview last time.
No problem. Thank you. It's kind of fun, and I everyone likes talking about themselves, right? So no, it's
pretty fun.
It's nice to know that hopefully the voice tips for other people will be helpful to people, and if people are interested in listening to this, that makes me happy. So thanks.
No problem. Thank you again for coming on. Well, there you have it. The Alessia Gladwell interview. Thanks for listening, and I apologize for taking so long to get this all edited and put out on the net. See you all in episode 19, which will probably take a while. Anyway, later.